Right, it's starting to read from PS 181. We sat next to one another in Earth Science. Right, Cangelosi's class. Good, and you? Andrew, I don't have a lot of time to reminisce right now, so let me just get right to the point. I need $9,000 and I need it like immediately. Andrew? Oh, this is ridiculous. You might as well kill me right now.
Okay.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I meant. What I meant was just give me some more time. Something could still come through.
Like what?
I don't know, something.
Time is a problem for me, Sonny. It really is. Metallica's playing the Garden tonight, and I still haven't even picked up my ticket.
What does that got to do with anything?
I kill you right now, I'm out of here in 5 minutes. Avoid the headaches of rush hour.
Why do you have to use that thing? Why can't you conduct business with a gun like everybody else?
The chainsaw is my trademark, Sonny. It's something I'm associated with. People see the hit, they see the condition of the deceased, they say, that looks like Mick Riley was here.
Mick, listen, you and I have been friends for a very long time.
We have?
Come on, man, we've broken bread together, we've confided, we've been like brothers. Donnie Boy's wedding reception, did we or did we not hang out together the entire time?
I didn't even know you were there.
Of course I was there, you remember. I kept trying to bum a cigarette off you, but you knew I was trying to quit so you wouldn't give me one.
I was looking out for your health.
Yeah.
Ironic, huh?
Mick, please, lend me the $9 grand.
I can't do that, Sonny. What kind of hitman would it be if I did? I'd be less of a hired killer and more like the Phil Rizzuto of the money store.
Okay, forget the money. How about this? You could say you killed me, and who would know? I'd leave the state, I swear to God. You would never hear a peep from me again.
I can't do that.
Why not?
Because this is my job, Sonny. I do this to the best of my ability. You know where I was 13 months ago? Blinkbees. My friends would come in. My own sister would come in and expect something for nothing. But I never played that, Sonny. People with me always get what they pay for. No more, no less.
I'd like to think I'm a little more important than extra dressing on a wedge.
You'd like to, but in this case, you're not. So, anything you'd like before I get started? Glass of water? A couple of Tylenol?
One more phone call.
Ugh, come on, Sonny. You've already called everybody.
Not everybody. I saw a name in here last night. DeRay. Could be a slight variation of my own. Some distant relative.
Sonny, have a heart. 15 more minutes, I hit the Newark Airport crowd.
Just take a minute.
I don't mean to harp on this, Sonny, but I have a certain phobia when it comes to traffic. Relates to my father, who was himself killed on the Long Island Expressway. Ironically, he was on foot at the time. You see, his car had broken down, and he went looking for help, and I guess he wasn't looking where he was going, wandered straight out into traffic, hit by a bus, squashed like a tomato. Teaches you a valuable lesson, though. If you ever break down on the Long Island Expressway, stay with your vehicle.
Hello? Who is this? Janine. Is your mommy or daddy home, Janine? He is. He's sleeping. Could you wake him up for me, please? Why not? Janine, honey, this is very important. I promise he won't get mad. Because I just know. Because he would want you to wake him up. Because I'm dying, Janine!
That's it!
You hear that, man, Janine? He has a chainsaw. Don't make me send him over to your house while you're sleeping, Janine.
Let's just do it.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with me.
just had a bizarre thought.
Tell me.
But last night, at work, there wasn't much on TV, so I was watching this PBS thing about Neptune. You know, the planet. And on Neptune, time goes much slower because it takes a large orbit around the sun. In fact, it takes 165 Earth years to make up 1 year on Neptune. If you lived to be 165 years old on Earth, you'd still be waiting for your first birthday on Neptune. I mean, it just now hit me that if we were on Neptune, you'd still have 3 days before I'd even come by. Just a bizarre thought. Now what?
Oh, I don't believe this.
Who is it?
It's my mother.
Your mother?
I haven't seen this woman in over 10 years.
I can't kill you with her out there!
Sonny!
Get rid of her!
Sonny!
What are you doing here, Emma?
Molly Centauri from the old neighborhood called me this morning. She said she got a call from you last night asking for $9,000. She said that you said that if you didn't get it, you'd be killed. So here I am all the way up from Wildwood.
How was traffic?
And you are?
Mick.
Traffic, Mick, was not that bad. Thanks for asking. I can guess from the chainsaw you're not here to prune the trees?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am. Oh boy with manners. Yeah, so how long's he got?
Actually, I was just about to get down to business.
Well, you can relax. Everybody can relax. I'm here, a concerned parent. I have the money.
You have the money?
Not so fast. Mick, there's a cooler in my car. There's iced tea and some nice cheesecake. Why don't you go cut yourself off a slice and let me have a word with my son?
Jeez, I don't know.
What's he gonna do, run out the door? If he runs out the door, shoot him.
I don't have a gun.
Well, here, use this. It's small, but it can take down a moose.
What are you doing carrying a gun?
It's the 90s, Sonny. Everybody's packing.
That cheesecake. Is it ricotta?
There's another kind.
10 minutes, Sonny. It's the best I can offer.
Well, I can't say as I'm shocked.
Emma.
What did you do? Borrow a bunch of money and then gamble it all away?
If you have to know, I made a poorly calculated investment.
What kind of investment?
Parrots.
Parrots?
From Brazil. And not just parrots either. Meta alert parrots. Parrots that could ride around on your shoulder all day and go find an ambulance crew if you pass out on the street. Problem is they're very noisy birds, parrots. And when you're trying to keep them when you're trying to smuggle them into the country, you want to keep them quiet. So they were frozen. Packed up and labeled as biohazardous waste. When we thawed them out, they were talking. But only in Portuguese. I don't know what the hell happened.
Do you have to use that word? Mario Cuomo doesn't use that word.
Mario Cuomo is not about to be split and quartered. Now, do you have the money or not?
Not that simple, Sonny. If you want the money, you're gonna have to earn the money.
Oh, and how do I do that?
By treating your mother with the respect and admiration due her. And you can start by explaining why you called everybody on God's green earth except me.
Because I thought it would be a waste of time.
Your own mother, a waste of time. as foster child out through an office not especially made for that purpose appreciates hearing it.
Hey, I never wanted to call you by your first name. You insisted on it.
I never did.
You said it made you feel younger.
Well, now I want Mommy.
Mommy.
Very good.
What is this?
$1,000. I gotta eat more of those in here. See? All you gotta do is make me happy.
How about I just call you Mommy 8 more times?
No good. We need to progress.
Where did you get $9,000?
I made it from the shop. It was a very good summer.
Oh, Bull, that stinking shop never turned a profit in its life.
Not while your father was alive, because your father, God rest his soul, had the financial skills of a radish. I remember saying to him when we went into business 34 years ago, I said, what do we know about selling live bait? And he said, what's to know? You pay a penny for a worm, you sell it for 2 cents. So that's the way his mind worked. That's why any other woman would probably thank God every night that he got naked and swam, or got drunk and swam naked into the propeller of that ship.
You're trying to tell me you made $9 grand on worms?
Not just worms, Sonny. I expanded. I sell grubs, I sell minnows, I sell phony identification
You do
cards.
what?
Life gives me cabbage. I make coleslaw.
You know I could just easily overpower you and just take that money, right?
Well, you should do that then. You should walk over to your own mother and cold cock her. That would be just splendid. A son beating up the woman who suckled him and wiped his coolie. That would be something you could proudly carry into the rest of your apparently short life. What are you doing?
What does it look like?
Nothing for me, thank you. I'm on the wagon.
You?
And what is that snide remark supposed to mean?
Just that I never saw you turn down a drink in your life.
Not true. I was a social drinker. I drank to me.
Oh, you were a lush, Emma.
Not Emma, Mommy, and I now happen to be dry.
Since when?
Since 7 months ago.
Emma on the wagon.
Mommy on the wagon.
Listen, why don't we just save each other a lot of time? Hand me the rest of the money and I'll pay you back in interest in 1 month's time, guaranteed.
Like you could be trusted. You, who after all these years couldn't be bothered to come visit. You, who from 11 years old thought it was beneath you to touch a nightcrawler with his fingers.
I've been an adult the past 27 years, Emma. I've had a life.
Some life. You couldn't even stay married to a good woman, an Irish woman, a woman who could keep her mouth shut and cook Italian.
You never even knew her.
What do you mean I didn't know her? We were best friends.
You met her once, Emma, at my wedding. That was 10 years ago. You were plots the whole time and the old man never even showed up.
Baloney.
On top of that, you kept on calling her Angela.
That was her name.
Her name was Kathleen.
Sonny.
Don't put it on me like it's my fault, because it wasn't. We just grew. We grew in separate ways, that's all. I was the one trying to hold us together, if you want the facts. She wanted to call it quits.
Well, who could blame her? You were a lousy bookie who gambled away every illegal penny he ever made. You couldn't hold down an honest job to save your life. You are what women call a bum, Sonny, a putz, a leech who happily attaches himself to the bowels of society. But I am not here to cast stones. I am here to do a mother's duty to to her only child. It's up to you if you want to take advantage.
How?
I'm glad you asked. I want you to draw me a picture, Sonny.
A what?
A picture. You probably don't remember this. You were in kindergarten. All the other kids drew pictures of their parents and brought them home, except you. You said you did draw a picture, but you spilled your milk during snack break and you needed something to blot with.
I have no hint what you're talking about.
Every other mother on our street had a nice picture but me. I was alone in that my refrigerator stood bare. I now want that picture, Sonny.
How much?
$3,000.
6.
4.
5 minutes, Sonny. I count to 300, and I'm in here singing. 1, 2, 3.
Give me the crayons. What type of picture you want?
A nice picture. The family. We're all standing out in front of a nice house and the sun is shining and there's flowers and a tree with a bird.
We lived in a condemned apartment on Nostrand Avenue.
Come on, Sonny, create. You think Norman Rockwell actually had that much cuteness in his life?
Can't do anything with you leaning over me like that.
Fine, I'll just go bring the boy in with the saw.
I'm drawing.
So, Sonny, as long as we have this time together, you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Like what?
Like, how come you didn't make your father's funeral last year?
I was busy.
He was embalmed, Sonny. It's not like he was gonna take up a lot of your time.
Come on, Emma. The man was horrible. He was worse to you than he was to me.
That's not true. He was a wonderful man. He was very proud of you.
Yeah, right.
He took you to that Yankee game that time I was out of town.
He left me at that Yankee game. He sent me off to get a couple of francs, and by the time I got back, his seat was empty. By the time I made it home that night, he was playing cards with a bunch of his cronies. He looked up at me standing in the doorway and said, "God, that was quick."
He had a rather offbeat sense of humor, your father. I remember when we were first introduced at the CYO, I asked him his name and he said, Laundry. I misunderstood and said, Laundry? And he said, yeah, laundry. It's a good, clean name.
His name was Benito, Emma. The same as Mussolini. I'm glad he's dead. In fact, you know what I really get off on? I get off on filling out that paperwork that has that space for father's occupation. I write corpse, Emma. I get off on that.
Never mind your father right now. Draw. Is that me in the skirt?
I guess.
Do me a favor. Make me a redhead like Lucy. Sonny, do you mind if I divulge a little something?
Give me the rest of that money and you can divulge whatever you want.
I just wish that we could have been closer, so I could have shared some things with you that a mother should share with her son. You know, the things like special secrets and the birds and the bees, things a son and his mother, her being his first real girlfriend, should share.
Forget it.
A mother takes a special pride in knowing, for example, the first time her son, you know, with the girl.
Emma, please.
Come on, it's a beautiful thing, Sonny. It was for me. It was my wedding night, and your father, who was dashingly handsome at the time, carried me into our motel room at the Howard Johnson Seagate. And then he waited patiently for me while I changed into my, what do you call it, boudoir attire. And then he took me, Sonny. He took me like a gardener takes a beautiful flower. He pollinated me and made me feel like the queen bee I was.
That's not the story I overheard.
Oh, really?
According to the old man, you spent the night getting your stomach pumped while he got a BJ from your Aunt Pearl with the goiter.
That is not true.
A real evening of magic.
Yes, that's what it was. A real evening of magic. Okay, now you. Tell me about your first time.
That's not gonna happen.
Come on.
Why do you do this?
Do what?
You know exactly what it was like. You were the one who set it up.
I never did.
Let me refresh your memory, Emma. My 18th birthday, you brought home a girl named Annie Eckelman.
That's right, I remember. I played Scrabble with a mother.
No, you said you played Scrabble with her mother. In fact, you never even knew her mother. For all you knew, Annie Eckelman could have been raised in the forest by timber wolves.
She was a nice girl.
Okay, she was a nice girl. She had a sense of class. She had a sense of humor. She actually listened to what I had to say.
A veterinary's assistant if memory serves.
I took her to the movies. Born Free. I figured, given her career, she'd like that. Turns out she hated it. She said later that she despised all animals and that she was only in it for the free tranquilizers.
No!
Later that night, she said that she'd been transferred to a research facility in Antarctica and was being transferred first thing in the morning. And that if people going to make love, now would be the time.
How romantic.
Well, it would have been, except Annie, who I think was feeling guilty at this point, admitted a few things.
For example?
For example, that she wasn't a veterinary assistant at all, but a prostitute. And that you and her had cooked up this whole little scheme.
She told you this.
Yup.
Understand, Sonny, you were on the verge of adulthood. You were a mess. You'd never even been on a date.
So you got me a prostitute.
You just said yourself she was a nice girl.
She was a prostitute.
Doesn't mean you couldn't pick up where you left off. She was a nice girl. That means she's a nice woman. Probably unattached. To be honest, I know this for a fact. We've kept in touch over the years. She comes down to Wildwood to fish on her many frequent vacations. She asks about you.
She does?
Naturally, I couldn't tell her the truth.
What did you say?
I told her you were in the computer field.
Emma, I can barely work a freaking pencil.
And oh look, I just happen to have her phone number right here.
I don't want her number. All I want is $9,000 and for you to get the hell out of my life.
Time to rock and roll.
Give me the money, Emma.
After that, after I get the hell out of my life, now you want the money.
I didn't mean it.
Not good enough.
I take it back.
I will be leaving now. It was a pleasure meeting you.
I'm sorry, Mommy.
Mick, sweetheart, we're almost done here. Do me one last little favor. There's a case in the back of my car. Bring it in, would you?
Is that good enough?
Pretty much.
Good. Now may I please have the money?
Happy to. So let's see, that's $4,000 for the drawing and another $1,000 for the intimate tete-a-tete.
I need it all, Emma, the entire $9,000.
You forgot to sign it. It should say to Mommy on the top and Love Sonny on the bottom.
And then I get the money?
Just about.
What do you mean, just about?
One more little request.
This it?
Set it on the bed, sweetheart. Here. Play us something.
What?
That song we wrote together.
Come on, Emma. I haven't touched that thing since I was a kid.
He took lessons for over 6 years. The whole time we were in Wildwood.
Excuse me, Mrs. D, but I've really gotta get busy
By
here.
the time he was 16, we threw out our television. We didn't need it anymore. We had Sonny.
Yeah, that's great, but I really got
His father and I would cuddle on the living room couch, and Sonny would prop his leg up on a wooden chair and play all night.
That's a wonderful story, really,
You know
but
what your problem is? Most people have memories that work like a movie. No matter how many times you run it, it's the same thing over and over again. Not my mother. Her memory works like one of those things we had when we were kids. Where you run on this gray piece of plastic with a sharp stick and then pull it up to make everything disappear.
Etch-a-sketch.
Actually, I think he's referring to.
I'm making a point, if you don't mind. You want to know why I was never very good on that thing, Emma? Because you have to be happy in order to be good on that thing. Happy was not an emotion I was very familiar with, Emma.
This is my son being difficult. Here. Play.
If I do this, Emma, then that's it.
That's it. Come on. The two of us. Like we used to.
Just don't expect much.
There's no greater bond between mother and son.
We see it throughout history.
God help Noah make plans for the ark, but who'd Noah run to when he's scared of the dark? There's no greater joy than between a miner boy.
Deeper than the deep blue sea.
Moses may have taught us all about wrong and right, but who did Moses run to when his money got tight? There's no tighter tie than twixt a miner guy.
It's easier than ABC.
Even little Satan had a mother, I know. She wasn't very pretty, she had feet like a goat. As hot as Hades got, she told him put on a coat, 'cause there's no greater joy.
There's no better time.
There's no stronger bond between mother and son. So there you go.
Wow.
Here you go, Mick. $9,000. Count it.
I trust you, Miss D. If you say it's all in there, it's all in there. Oh! I bet if I leave right now, I could still beat a lot of that 9 to 5 crowd.
Just be careful out there. The inmates are running the asylum.
You know what? I ain't even gonna go to the concert. I'm gonna drive up to Passaic and visit my mother. I'm gonna take her out to dinner. Then I'm gonna buy her some flowers. And then I'm gonna tell her I forgive her for sticking me in the forehead with that fork. Oh, here, Miss D. You don't want to forget your piece. Later, Sonny.
Well, I suppose I should be leaving myself.
You sure you don't want that drink?
Want it? Of course I want it. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, I'm just happy to see you finally admit something.
Sonny, was fun there for a minute or two, wasn't it?
I suppose.
And we had a time or two, you and me. That's all I want to hear you say.
We had a time or two.
And your father, he wasn't that bad a man.
Emma.
At least he was capable of change, Sonny. This being the truth, this being one hand on the Bible and one foot in the grave, he never got drunk. He never swam into the propeller of any ship. It was right after his heart attack, right after he came home from the bypass. I was sitting in the living room watching reruns of Charlie's Angels, says no. He says, I just wrestled with death and I beat the son of a bitch 1, 2, 3, and from now on I'm gonna live every day like it's my last. I'm gonna appreciate every second the good Lord gives me. Now go put on something nice. I'll take you out for coffee and maybe we'll ride the bumper cars. So I did. And he waited in the living room for me. And I put on my white dress, the one with the buttons that's just a little tight. And I put on my shoes. And by the time I got out to the living room, he was dead. Just laying there in his old Strata lounger, with both hands on his crotch and his mouth wide open. And I remember thinking, this can't be happening. Not now. Not here. Not in the living room. The point is, he was capable of change.
Come on, Emma. He was horrible.
This is your problem, Sonny. Nothing has to be horrible if you don't allow it to be. You gotta pick and choose. You gotta monkey with things. You gotta put life in a dice cup, spill it out, and see what you get. It doesn't have to be horrible, Sonny. Just the opposite. It can be this. Remember to take your vitamins.
Annie Eckelman? It's Sonny DeRee from Wildwood. Yeah, born free. Listen, I was wondering if you want to get together again. You would? Terrific. Look, I'll call you later this week and we can set something up. Oh, and Annie, I think it's important that we be straight from each other from now on. You're what you are, I'm what I am, no bullcrap. Yeah? Great. Jose? Sonny, listen, those parrots? What say we pluck them, refreeze them, and sell them like Cornish game hens? Come on, man. Life gives you cabbage, you make coleslaw.
On behalf of the Cedar Springs community players, thank you again for coming out today, supporting live theater and all these fantastic actors and people working backstage and directors. We can't thank you guys enough. Have a safe drive home and a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again.